All right, let's get started. Hello there. It's me. It's been a while since I've done one of these, like, quick ones. This is a 1 minute 18 video about what Sarah Michelle Gellar said in an article about how, like, she wants everyone to come back for the reboot. And, um, and I'll share my thoughts about that. As you know, I am a Buffy veteran watcher. I love the Whedonverse that he created through Buffy and Angel. Um, uh, and I'm trying not to give away spoilers too much. Mild spoilers, warning, by the way, if I have to mention something. But really, this is for people who definitely know Buffy. So I don't know how far I'm going to go to that. But let's see what this says at the Hollywood Reporter. But it's a bastion of truth because Hollywood. They're full of people that just want to tell you the truth and just the truth. Well, you can't handle the truth, is what they're saying. But we'll see. We'll see. Probably read the article too. I don't know, but let's just watch the video. Let's see what they say.
Sarah Michelle Gellar says she wants to bring back everyone who died in the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer series for the reboot.
Now, this has its ups and downs because, like, does she mean that she wants everyone? Well, of course, you want to bring. If there's going to be a reboot, right? If you're starting fresh, you definitely want everyone. You want a new Xander, you want a new Willow, and you want a new Buffy. But from what I've heard, she's going to be still the Slayer. So it's like, so that brings up problems. Because some of those people you can't bring back because they're dead in the show's canon. Or maybe they come back somehow through other ways, but then there's like big spoiler, Joyce, or like even not in the show's canon, there's some meta knowledge that like Michelle is dead, the actress who played Dawn. Um, and so like she would have to be replaced. That would be, I think you should leave well enough alone. It's fine the way it ended. Both shows, Angel and Buffy. Angel being the definite ending. The comic books tried to do it, but I heard I've that's the one thing I don't know. I'm not much of a mega Buffy fan because I didn't read the comics or whatever. All I know is that like they weren't received well by the fan base. That's at least from what I've heard. So that's just the way that is going. So that has concerns, and I don't even like the idea of reviving Buffy as a show. It gives me for a modern audience thing going on. Well, let's see what else they say.
The actress who led the original show for 7 seasons from 1997 to 2003 is reprising her role as Buffy.
Now, see, she's reprising her role as Buffy Summers, so is she teaching new Slayers? Because during the last part of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, something happens which she no longer really has to be the only one. And it's going to be on Hulu, which means I think Disney might be involved since they own Hulu. So I'm like, I don't have high hopes. If you don't know, Disney has rained Star Wars into the ground, Marvel into the ground, and even Pixar into the ground. So it's like, what else do you want? And Hollywood's not really that different. Um, it's not about writing for a continued story, or it's not character based anymore. It's character drama. Instead, it's about like we need to make as much money as possible quickly, so we'll just revise a lot of the franchises. And this seems to be no different. It happened to Star Trek. It tried to come back, and it's now a shell of its former self with identity politics and the shoving as much like today's problems in a really bad way. Um, but of course, that's what activists do. It's the difference between preaching and teaching. If you're being taught something, you can get information that you want and then leave, and knowing that like they have their views, but you also have theirs. There's a differences of opinion, but we can still come together in a common cause. That's what I got from Star Trek, at least. But then the Activision says like, no, 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 you must agree with me because I am the right side. That's what that is, and that's what I don't want Buffy to be.
Summers in the new Hulu series. Actress Ryan Kiera Armstrong of Star Wars Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew, that also worries me because like again, Star people from Star Wars are jumping ship. Okay, Ryan Johnson's trilogy is never going to happen, and the brand new Grogu and whatever, freaking Mandalore, which is not what it is. It's I can't even forget its name, but you know, those two people are going to run a new Star Wars film because Kathleen Kennedy needs a win. It's not going to happen. And Skeleton Crew, yeah, it might have been. It was so unoffensive that people don't really care. Andor, both seasons. The first season is very good, and then you have the second season, which I haven't seen, because the first half I hear is kind of like not good, but then it has really good stuff on the back end. So I'm like, that's still at least you went on a good note, kind of like Rogue One, like in a way, which is the best Star Wars uh sequel trilogy, not sequel trilogy, but like off the brand of the original trilogy. Um, it doesn't use fan service in that way. Even the Darth Vader scenes, it's not really fan service. It's him doing his job as an enforcer for the Empire.
Who has also been cast in the reboot as a new young Slayer. During a recent interview with
No. No, skip ads.
about the forthcoming series. It will be lighter than the last few seasons.
It'll be lighter than the last few seasons of the original. We'll try to balance between new and old characters. Well, yeah, you have to. My dreams are bring back everyone who died, but space will have to be made for new stories as well. Well, yeah, that's welcome to the basics of storytelling. So from what I've heard, hold on, let me take a drink. Hmm. But like, you have to imagine that like this would be the obvious thing to say. It's like, yeah, if you want to bring people back from the dead, you will have to tell stories without like the integration between new and old characters, and also new stories. Yeah, what else? What else would you say? I mean, this is pretty obvious. But like, it's kind of funny she says lighter of seasons because the body is something she didn't want to happen. The episode she fought against it, but Joss Whedon said, "No, you're doing it. We're going to do this. We're going to get rid of this character." And it's one of the best episodes. I have a video on it. Go see it. Um, the best of Buffy the Body, and I think anyone who saw the episode will agree with me on that. It is one of the best, probably the best, arguably, the best. And I think Joss did a really good job. I don't care about politics or whatever he did on sets, blah 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 blah. But it's like he did a great job with the last two seasons, especially with Angel last season.
Of the original. We will try to find a balance between new and old characters. My dream is to bring back everyone who has died, but space will have to be made for new stories as well. The Dexter Original Sin star also shared that she wants to make sure the reboot includes modern themes.
Modern themes and issues made for a modern audience is a code for that. But then again, there were Buffy episodes in the past that did use things of that. It's kind of like the Star Trek treatment, like I said earlier. They use a lot of things from that time to tell a message. But again, it's how you present that. It's kind of like tropes, you know? The tropes aren't the problem, it's how you execute them. Same thing for messages. Like I didn't like necessarily the anti-gun message of the end of the sixth season, but it's delivered enough a way that I can ignore that enough because it's within character and plot. It's just it's just what it is. And then you're gonna put that into a new thing where it's like, man, we're gonna deal with these things in a most brutal way, or an unrealistic way, I should say. I don't know why I said brutal. I am I'm no good without my scripts, man. This is what happens when I fly off the cuff. I come up with weird words for stuff. But yeah, the modern thing, it just this is a red flag. It's a small red flag, but it's like what they've said doesn't inspire me with confidence because it's all very basic things to say to push your show or product forward through the corporate like talk. So I don't know what this means yet.
Issues and storylines. She said, "We're trying to figure out how to modernize the themes of the series, especially what it means to feel like an outsider in a world dominated by social media."
Being an outsider when the world is dominated by social media, I think everyone feels like an outsider, like in a way. And then when you have social media, it just makes you more disconnected with each other, especially in the age when we just had social distancing through forced mandates and stuff like that. I'm not saying it's a good or a bad thing, but it did create a way to make us versus them mentality. It's more of a tribalist thing, not really more of a, I don't know, outsider. That's a bit of a strange thing to talk about social media with. Um, hmm. Yeah, it's kind of funny how a lot of modern things are like, oh, we have to present social media. I can't wait for the episode where it's like the demon lives in Twitter, and it's a guy who's suspiciously right wing. He's right wing coded, and so it's like, oh boy, I can't wait. Because the thing about Buffy that happened in the past is that like it may be women powerful, yeah, like it definitely had that behind it, but then you'll have like women being some of the worst people. Like it's even though it had women power, yes, it still said like everyone can be a piece of garbage or evil. Like it's nothing to do with gender.
What we want to explore are the space time boundaries that affect society today. Most details surrounding the reboot, which Hulu is referring to as the untitled Buffyverse pilot, are being kept under wraps. Geller is
Kept under wraps like a mummy.
also executive producing the series.
She's executive producer. She has a lot of control. Like I said earlier, there's a lot of things that happened in the sixth season that she wasn't a fan of, but they went along anyway. I think those were very good things for, especially like not good things, but like let me put that into perspective. They were good things for the story, where it's like especially Spike's little bathroom um scene. But like, I mean, is something like that necessary? Necessary is a strong word, but I will say it is something that was made it more real. So anyways, well that's it for that. Man, what an interesting thing to do. So yeah, that's the thing for Buffy, and I'll make sure that like I will keep track of this because I am very interested in what happens to this Buffyverse stuff. And like oh yeah, another thing that was said of what Buffy was, I believe by Sarah Michelle Gellar. I don't know, don't quote me on that. But it said that she was an anti-hero, which is one of the most not true things ever said. She is a hero. The closest thing to anti-hero was Spike, and that's because like was a soulless vampire. Buffy was a hero. She is a hero. Giles says this before he closes his mouth on one of the bad guys and suffocates him to death. Like it's I well, anyways, my latest video, the best of Buffy, the body, go check that out. I have a partner in crime, my co-host for background noise. He's let's see, he did a video recently. Go check out his channel. I'll try to make sure to have a link to it. I'll get to that, and I think that'll be it. You guys take care of yourselves, and make sure to like and subscribe and do all that good stuff. Goodbye for now. Take care.